There been a rumor going around lately in the news. Um, so Chevy is thinking about bringing back their V8 Camaro, and I think it's about time that they do, because I mean, if you look at Mustang, well, you look at Ford. Ford got their Mustang, right? The Mustang, it may not be selling as well, but I think it's starting to pick up on sales. I mean, the Mustang still got a V8. Dodge got their Charger, but when it comes with the Charger, they still people still want a V8 in their Charger with the Hemi engine and stuff like that. But it's about time that GM try to bring back the Chevy Camaro, and I also think I also think that Ford should also bring back the Ford Taurus, and I feel like Chevy should also bring back the Impala and the Malibu. If they still make the Malibu, maybe they still make it, but they haven't revised the Malibu in quite a long time. But I'm only saying this because I seen this video already, but I'm gonna replay it for y'all to watch, and I'm gonna give y'all my feedback. I see why young buyers, including myself, I'm 28 years old. The car that I brought a few years back, I have a 2023 Honda Civic, and a lot of people like a lot of like before this gas price thing was going on, and the prices of the car was going up. A lot of my buddies and people around my age, they was trying to go for like crossovers and SUVs and stuff like that. They wasn't looking for a sedan. They was looking for a SUV that's like not a full size SUV, but something that's like a little bit taller, so they can, some of them be saying that they want to be able to see the road a little bit taller, like they want to get to see a good view of the road while they driving. But none of these people have kids, so my thing is the reason why I got a sedan is because it's a little bit more affordable, and I don't have kids or a family, so why do I need an SUV? Why do I need a midsize SUV? You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I feel like the Camaro is a good thing to bring back. Hopefully GM bring back, like they, in the rumors. Hopefully they do bring it back with the V8. Like the V8. I know they have Camaros always also have a V6, which I wish the Mustang did. Besides making a four-cylinder Mustang, they should have made a V6 and a V8. Um, Same thing with Dodge. Besides making an inline six, was it inline six Hurricane? Whatever that damn thing is called. But Dodge should have did a V6, a V8, and then hopefully Chevy with the Camaro do a V6 and the V8, and hopefully they bring back their sedans for the American market. But I'm gonna tell y'all why I think America companies should bring back their sedans after I play this video for y'all. So let's get to it.
If you drive around pretty much anywhere in the US, you'll notice that SUVs, crossovers, and pickup trucks have taken over. It wasn't always like this. A few decades ago, the word car really meant something that looked like this. SUVs and pickup trucks were for work or off-roading mostly. But SUVs especially started taking off in the 90s with seminal vehicles like the Toyota RAV4, Ford Explorer, Chevrolet Suburban, the Jeep Cherokee, and others. In the years that followed, they completely gobbled up the market. Check this graphic out. In 2000, sedans made up 42% of the US market. In 2025, that was down to 13%. SUVs over.
But look how much that went down though. In the early 2000s, 42% of sedans, and as of last year, is at 13%. That went down a lot. Um, and this is why the average car prices are what they are today, with the 50, what is it, $50,000 is the average car prices of 2026. That is why, because, and I mentioned this in a few videos back, a lot of people are going for SUVs and trucks and stuff like that. They're not going for sedans. This is why Chevy and Ford moved away from sedans in the American market. This is why you don't really see a new Cobalt or a new Chevy Cruze or an Impala or a Malibu. Same thing with Ford. The Ford, you don't even see the Ford I think it's called Fiesta. I think I'm saying it right. You don't also see Ford Taurus, the Ford Taurus or the Ford Fusion anymore in America, because a lot of people in America moved away from sedan, small cars to bigger cars. And what you think the companies are going to do? If they're not making profits on the smaller vehicles, they're going to move on to the bigger vehicles. That's why we see a shift from 42% in the early 2000s when I was a child. Well, yeah, when I was a child, all I saw was small cars. And I mostly saw small cars, and the only time people got bigger cars if they have a family. They need, they need to drive something a little bit bigger, and then truck vehicles for hauling and work stuff related. While today's closer to today's stats, 13%.
Took them in 2015. Then pickup trucks surpassed them in 2020. In 2025, SUVs reached 58% of the market versus 19% in 2000.
You
The
see how they
SUV
just
had
flipped?
some advantages. For one thing, customers showed they were willing to pay more for an SUV than for a sedan or coupe of the same size. Here's an example. In 2018, Ford released a compact SUV called the EcoSport, which it said it could charge more for than a comparable compact car. Another advantage, these vehicles were technically classified as light trucks, which meant they were subject to more lenient fuel economy regulations than passenger cars were. But now, the average transaction price on a vehicle is close to $50,000, and a lot of automakers, dealers, and industry analysts are worrying that high vehicle prices are driving customers away. Among the most affordable options out there are sedans, four-door, low-roofed passenger cars. The vast majority of those are made by foreign automakers.
With affordability being such an issue in the industry, our passenger cars have done really well. Camry, Corolla, Prius, they're all selling really well.
We talked with people from Kia, Toyota, and Volkswagen. They all said their sedan portfolios are providing an affordable entry point for buyers, especially younger ones. Kia and Toyota's best-selling models are SUVs, but the Kia K4 and Toyota Camry are those brands' second best-selling vehicles.
K4 we've introduced a couple of years ago. It's just been doing phenomenally well for us, way over plan. And a lot of it is affordability. It's a nice-sized vehicle. It looks great. It's full of technology. And for a lot of customers, it fits their needs. We have the youngest average age of any category in the K5. And a lot of it is this new generation that grew up in the back seat of an SUV. For the rest of us who grew up with sedans all the time, it's old hat. But for new buyers, they like the look. They like the idea of doing something different.
Volkswagen has kept its Jetta in the American market for 45 years.
The Jetta, for example, is of course important to also attract entry customers. So hopefully to be able to grow them in the brand from a Jetta maybe to a Taos to a Tiguan to an Atlas. So this is also the logic behind it.
Auto industry analyst Stephanie Brinley of S&P Global Mobility said it's doubtful sedans are ever going to return to what they were in their heyday. But affordability and the lure of something different might continue to attract customers. And there is something else. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is revising that regulatory change on fuel economy standards that favored SUVs. At least some crossovers might no longer be considered light trucks. While the government is loosening fuel economy regulations overall, the reclassifications of those vehicles might incentivize automakers to build more sedans and coupes again. And that could be a tailwind for those segments.
And there you have it. A lot of people, they need places to go to get from A to B. um, to work, grocery stores, travel, and then you got this situation with the gas prices. I mean, they starting to go down a little bit, but we'll see about that further on as time moves forward. But I don't blame them. I mean, sedans are more affordable. They start off in like the low 25,000 range. Might be something cheaper than that. Especially if you get them used. You don't have to get them brand new. You can get them used for a good decent price. But if this trend keeps going, at some point in time, Chevy and Ford probably will bring back sedans to the American market. But companies always go by a trend. That's the thing. Whatever is popular, they're gonna keep making that because that's what's driving up their sales. That's the most popular, and that's what's going to get them, their money. They're not going to make something that's not going to give them profit. They're going to make something that's going to give them profit. That's why now we see these high price freaking trucks and SUVs in like the 70s and not the 70s, 70,000, 8,000, 9,000, $100,000. Shoot, like pickup trucks, like XLT 4 F-150 cost 60 grand. Wow, a few years ago, that probably maybe cost, if I'm saying a few years ago, probably like 40 grand. And if you go all the way back to the early 2000s, probably didn't even cost 40 grand, probably cost 30 something grand. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of the video. I'm just trying to inform y'all what's going on in the market. And like they said for CNBC, a lot of young buyers are going for affordable sedans. And most of like the guy said, most of these affordable sedans are from foreign countries like Toyota, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, and then you got Volkswagen. So a lot of people is looking at domestic vehicles because, like I said, America don't have vehicles for that market. They only have vehicles for the other part of the market, which is stupid. To me, it's stupid. And I've been saying this before he made this video. That's before CNBC even touched this. I've been saying it for a long time. Why they don't make the Chevy Cruze anymore? The Chevy Cobalt, the Ford Taurus, the Ford Fusion. Why don't America make sedans? Why they keep making big stuff? SUVs, crossovers, trucks. And I know why they doing it, but what if the people want to save more money? That's what I was trying to get at. People want to save money. Nobody want to spend over 30 grand, over 40 grand for a car, for a vehicle to get to point A to point B. A lot of people don't even care about the tech. Some people I know don't care about tech. They just want the car to last for 10, 20, 30 years. But anyway, y'all, take care and remember, stay driven.